let's just get straight into it. Okay, that's a lie. I gotta say one more thing. I tried to pick a couple different things that were a little less conventional, because I'm sure you've probably seen a bunch of these videos, and people tend to pick the same few things, and I just wanted to kind of mix it up. And I know you probably don't give a shit because you're just here to listen to somebody whisper and fall asleep, but I care, so it's really more for me than you, but I just wanted to let you know, because this first thing is kind of random, but still very important. So let me show you what it is. The first thing that I legitimately cannot live without anymore is an exfoliating towel. And obviously you want to use this with body wash, but my choice of body wash is Method Body Wash. Method Body Wash. But specifically the coconut, rice milk, and shea butter scent. But really, the star of this combination is the exfoliating towel. So let me talk about that. As a young man, I only very recently came to understand the importance of self-care and skincare. And so up until about a year ago, I did not use an exfoliating towel. And ironically, I would get really bad breakouts and just like acne really on my shoulders and my back and my neck and even my chest. And it wasn't until I started using this every day when I took a shower that those breakouts started to appear less frequently and my skin really started to clear up. So if you don't use an exfoliating towel, I would give my life for one of these things at this point. I don't care what they do. I will support these towels for the remainder of my life. I'm sure if you're a girl, you probably know what exfoliating is, and you're like, no shit, I can't believe you only figured this out a year ago. But if you don't know, an exfoliating towel basically removes the dead skin in the area where you kind of harshly or a little roughly scrub your skin, and it just removes some of those impurities and oils as well. But really where the quote-unquote money is made in terms of benefits to your skin is when you moisturize after you use an exfoliator or an exfoliating towel. So now, after I finish showering and exfoliating, I put lotion on all over my body. And truthfully, I think that's why the breakouts have become less frequent. It's because my skin isn't so dry anymore. And it's actually properly moisturized and all that stuff. So, yeah. My first thing that I cannot live without is an exfoliating towel. It really does make that big of a difference. So, if you don't have one, try it out. They're so cheap on Amazon. Like a pack of 4 for like $8. Yeah. Now let's go to the second thing that I cannot live without, which is my Prada Luna Rosa cologne. Prada Luna Rosa. Cologne is also something that I've only gotten into in the past couple of years, and that's because my dad gets migraines from really strong scents. So before I moved out, I just didn't wear cologne because it would fuck him up. He would open all the windows in the house and he would act like someone just dropped a gas bomb on us or some as you can see, I do not actually own it. This is just a small sample, and it's completely gone, but I held on to the box because it still smells like the scent. Oh, baby, it still smells like the scent. Fuck, I hope you didn't hear that. And the reason why I wanted to get that cologne or perfume is because my family was on a trip in Hawaii a few years ago, and we did what any group of normal people does when they are in a nice shopping mall, and we went to all the designer stores to see all the cool things that we could not afford and be around all the sexy people that we do not belong around. So we went to Louis Vuitton, and one of the women working there let us just spray a bunch of different colognes and perfumes, and I don't know if there's an appropriate way to describe the feelings that I experienced when she sprayed that cologne on the little piece of paper and gave it to me. It was, delicious, ravishing, beautiful, sensual, lustful. There are a million different words to describe it, and none of them could do a shred of justice to what that scent makes me feel. But really, above all, what it makes me think about now when I smell it is Hawaii, which was one of the best trips of my life, and I think that's one of the best ways that you can actually purchase a perfume or a scent is when you're on a vacation. When my best friend and I went to Europe this past October, he bought a really nice cologne from the Dior store in Paris, and it's not even mine, but every time I smell it on him now, I get so nostalgic and then depressed because I want to be back there, and then melancholy, and then happy because I just remember how good of a trip that was. But I'm kind of getting away from the fact that that is not the cologne that I actually own. This Prada Luna Rosa is a warm, more low-key scent because I don't like strong smells either, and I would say it's a little woodsy, the tiniest bit citrusy, which kind of creates that warm scent and feeling. And I really like it. I feel like it is a cheaper alternative to the Meteor, and everybody who's ever smelled it on me said they really like it. And I mean, that's really what it's all about at the end of the day, is whether other people like it. You know, of course I want to smell good, but it's cooler when people tell me I smell good. That's all I'm here for, is validation. So, yeah, that is the second thing that I cannot live without and that I use every day. I just do a spray on my wrist, and then I rub it on my other wrist, and I know cologne aficionados would kill me for that and say that I'm disrespecting the culture because it releases the molecules or something, but I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to make it last because it was $100, and then I'll spray in my shirt and neck area. So yeah, that takes us to the third thing that I cannot live without, which is the most expensive thing on this list, and that is my AirPods Max, my headphones. And I'm not going to say anything revolutionary here. It's pretty obvious why I like these. One, because I really like to listen to music, but specifically on my computer, because I don't know how to explain the science here, but my computer supports stereo audio, which lets you do the whole, you can hear it in one ear and then hear it in the other type thing, so you can hear, the full, I think they call it AD experience. It sounds like someone's in your head. But that doesn't work on my iPhone, so really I mostly use those when I'm doing work on my computer or when it's late at night and I just want to lay on my bed over here and listen to my favorite music and kind of zone out. So I kind of use them in more of an experiential sense, if that makes sense. I'm not just using them every day. I kind of use them sparingly because they're so fucking expensive and I want to, like, maintain the sacredness of them. That being said, I have been wearing them at the gym for the past few weeks, mostly because they're noise canceling and I just don't want to hear the mid-50s meathead next to me who sounds like he's receiving the craziest oral stimulation of his entire life when he's doing cable rows. So it's more of a survival mechanism for me when I'm at the gym. Okay, that leads me to the fourth thing that I cannot live without, which is this necklace. This necklace. I'm gonna kind of bring it closer and see if it zooms in. There you go. I'm a fucking professional YouTuber. Look at how I made that focus. If you couldn't tell, the pendant on that necklace is a charm. It's a 3-leaf clover. What the fuck did I just say? The pendant is a charm, which is a 3-leaf clover. The little charm is a 3-leaf clover, is what I meant. I just feel like that necklace is my lucky necklace. And growing up, I was never really into jewelry, and I'm still not, but I bought that from this fashion brand called Minted New York. If you have TikTok, you've probably seen the guy who runs it. His name is Marcus. He is so fucking cool. But it's sterling silver, and it kind of dances in the light and all that shit, so it looks nice. But it was only like 65 bucks. Still super high quality. I think it was made in Italy. Not that any of that really matters. It's just physically a nice piece. And I'm sure many of you can relate to this, but when you wear a nice article of clothing or a nice piece of jewelry or maybe a nice pair of shoes or whatever, it just makes you feel better about yourself. And so whenever I wear that, I just feel a little more confident. I feel like it's my lucky charm in a way. That's what I was trying to say earlier. And yeah, it just goes with most of what I wear because it's silver, so it's pretty simple. And yeah, I don't feel like I need anything else besides that. I'm wearing a different chain right now, if you can see that. It's just like a rope chain or a cable. I don't know. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, that is the fourth thing that I cannot live without. We will get to number 5 right after I take a 3-second water break. Okay. The fifth thing that I cannot live without, but that I only use once a month, is my journal. I've had this journal for, I'm really tempted to do tapping sounds right now, but I don't like those, so I'm gonna just put it down. I've had that journal for about a year and a half now. I got it at Barnes & Noble. I actually will pick it back up to show you. I like it because it has this gold trim on the outside of the pages. And so I just like that it looks kind of elegant in a way. Writing is like a really meaningful thing to me, and so I wanted to buy a journal that looked like it had some kind of importance and some kind of weight to it. So that's the one I picked, and I'm glad I did. Now, as I just mentioned, I only use it once a month, the idea, just like anybody else who gets a journal, that I would write in it every day and that I would somehow find some sort of patterns about my behavior in there and then make these crazy changes to my life. But ultimately, I ended up writing in it pretty infrequently, and it was only a couple days ago when I was going through it that I realized that I've been writing in it about once every month for almost the last year. And when I realized that, it kind of hit me that I really only write in there when I'm kind of going through it and I just need a place to vent and dump a lot of stuff really quick. So that's what I use it for. Whenever I'm going through some kind of situation or just feeling uncertain about my life, which if you've seen any of my other videos, you would know happens on a very regular basis. I just pick it up and I write about 3 or 4 pages, and I do something which is very unlike me, which is I don't try to find a solution when I'm writing. I actually just write down what's bothering me and kind of accept it in the writing and then let it go. So it's very therapeutic. And as somebody who is obsessed with trying to find solutions to their problems and improve, it's a really nice place to just let it out and not have any expectations that I'm going to figure out how to resolve the situation or go forward. So that is one of the things that I would technically say I can't live without, but that I don't use on a daily basis. So the 6th thing that I cannot live without is out of my reach, so I have to leave the mic. This is a more practical one, but it's this electric razor from Philips that I think I got at Costco. And I know that seems boring as fuck, but if you're a guy who has to shave his face, and you're like me, as I've gotten older, my facial hair keeps growing back in quicker and quicker, and it's so annoying because I just shaved today and I actually did a clean shave, so I'm such a hypocrite right now. I used a razor and shaving cream and all that, but I grow most of my facial hair right now in my mouth area, so it basically forms a goatee. You can kind of see the outline of it. And I can kind of grow a beard, but it just grows faster on my chin and around there. And I look like a predator when it grows out. And I hate it. And so I've always been looking for something that can give me a pretty clean shave every few days that isn't so hard on my skin, because shaving with a razor, it's hard on your skin. You're basically tearing you're cutting your skin. I'm also not great at shaving, which doesn't help, but it's always been hard on my skin. And it's led me to break out a few different times when I've used a razor, like for weeks in a row. So this 3-ball electric razor it was pretty cheap, and it gets me like a almost clean shave. It still leaves a little more than a razor, but like an actual blade. But it does the job, and it's not as hard on my skin, and it only takes a couple minutes, because shaving with a razor can just be an annoying 20-minute process. But I will say, sometimes it does give me ingrowns, because when you shave with a razor, I've said that like 10 times, I hate that. But when you do that, you can go down, and it does a better job of removing the hair, and you don't have to go again razor, you have to kind of go up, and against the hair to pull it out better and get a closer shave. And sometimes my face does not like that, and I'll get ingrown hairs or just little bumps or blackheads. And that's probably the most frustrating part about using it. But I still use it because it's a lot more convenient than shaving every 3 days. So, yeah, if you're a guy and you don't have an electric razor, I would highly suggest that you try one out. I've always wondered if an electric razor would be effective on like a girl's legs if she tried it when she was shaving. And I don't think so. I think it's probably quicker to use a blade, and you would have fewer ingrown hairs. I don't know, just a random thought. Anyways, that was number 6, I believe. So, the 7th thing that I cannot live without, and I really mean it when I say this one, is, and if you watch my videos, you probably know what I'm about to bring up, but it's a fiction book. A fiction book. And the one I'm holding up right now is the one that I just finished last night, which is called The Measure. The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich, or Nikki Ehrlich. I've said this a lot of times about books before, so I'm just going to keep it short. But having a place to go when you feel overwhelmed and just don't want to think about your life anymore is really important, in my opinion. For some people, that might be the gym. For others, it might be going on a bike ride, or going and getting blacked out at a club, or hooking up with somebody, or, I don't know, doing something illegal. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. People need ways to escape from their lives for a little bit sometimes. And the way that I do it nowadays is by reading a fiction book. It's nice to just go be a part of a different world. It's almost like playing video games. But I just love a good story, especially one that involves coming of age and people in their young or early mid-20s and people who are falling in love. That's like my trifecta of fiction book holiness. So, yeah, if you are kind of going through it right now and you are looking for ways to just let your mind chill out and go somewhere else for a bit, a fiction book is a great place to start. And if you want any recommendations, just let me know down below and I'll give you a couple. But yeah, it's just nice to take your mind off things for a while. And I'm not encouraging you to just run away from your problems, but I'm an avid overthinker, and sometimes I just need to chill the fuck out for a few minutes, and a book is a great way to do that. Not to mention they're easy to carry around, so yeah, that is the 7th thing I cannot live without. And the 8th thing I cannot live without, especially because I have an ASMR YouTube channel, is chapstick. And the runner-up in this scenario was Aquaphor. I got this thing of Aquaphor a few months ago, and I used to really like it, but it kind of tastes like shit. And when it gets to this point where it starts to run out, it's physically impossible to get any more out. But I just wanted to be cool and different, so I started using Aquaphor instead of chapstick. So, I just hate the feeling of having super dry lips, and I live in a place that's very dry, and especially during the winter. Oh my goodness, it's been damn near impossible to keep my lips moisturized as well as my skin this entire winter. So it's kind of essential. And I know this might come off mean, but whenever I see someone who has dry, flaky lips, I want to throw up. I don't like that, and I don't want to be that guy. So I have opted to always have chapstick on me. And I keep Aquaphor in my gym bag, but I don't ever really use it. I also take that back on trips, so it's just like my backup. But yeah, I prefer the mint flavor. I guess it's kind of a flavor. But this is just the original, and it doesn't have a flavor. So I like the mint because it feels cool on my lips. Yeah. I'm really starting to think that I might have messed up and miscounted all the things I've showed you guys so far, because I'm seeing 2 more things, and I said I've done 8, but I actually only planned for 9 because I had something else I was going to find at the end. Let me do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, I can't even count. If I mess that up, I'm going to look so dumb. Whatever. The 9th thing that I cannot live without is a clothing item, and it is my Arsenal soccer jersey, which is super random, but I've loved soccer since I was at the end of middle school, start of high school, and I played in high school, and I grew out of it and kind of didn't care about it at all, up until about 1.5 years ago, because I started thinking about going to London again, and obviously soccer, or football as they call it, is huge in England and the UK and all of Europe, really everywhere in the world but here, but it's getting more popular here. And so I started watching soccer again, and I've always played FIFA with my best friend growing up, so I bought this jersey. I think they would call it a kit, is what they would call it in England. I bought this kit when I was in London by myself. I had to restart the recording. It automatically ends at 30 minutes. I bought that kit when I was in London by myself last August. And to me, it's just kind of a reminder of that trip that I took by myself, because that was my first time going out of the country, and it was also my first time ever traveling alone, so it was a difficult trip. It was way harder to be alone than I thought, but it was very important to me, and I think it has had a big impact on who I've become as a person since then. So yeah, it has a lot of sentimental value to me, and I don't wear it a ton, but I watch that team, Arsenal, every time they play, so it's kind of important to my day-to-day life in a sense. The 9th, or maybe 10th thing, I am so mad at myself that I might have miscounted, I really hope I didn't, that I cannot live without, is also related to London, but it's this little red bus keychain that says I Heart London. And this is actually a gift from my girlfriend. She gave it to me before she was my girlfriend, and it's just one of the nicest things that somebody has ever given me, and I don't want to get too far into the story behind it because it's just something that's between her and I, but it also kind of serves as a reminder sanity won't let me get this wrong. Okay, that was 10 things. Cool. So it turns out I'm just an idiot and I couldn't count right before the video. But I wanted to also list one more thing that I can't live without before I go, and that is you guys. And I'm not trying to get all emotional or corny here, but I've been uploading consistently for like a month and a half now, and you guys have all been so nice, and you always have cool things to say in the comments, whether it's answering a question I asked or giving me advice, specifically on my last video because I was really going through it when I made that, and it just means the world to me. I have always wanted to be a YouTuber, and I wouldn't consider myself one now, but when I make something and I post it and even just a few people watch it, and I don't know, whenever anybody has something to say about something I made, it is the best, most fulfilling feeling that I think I know as a person. And so being able to post videos that people enjoy, or at least that I think they enjoy, and getting to see what people think about some of the stuff that I bring up is incredible, and I'm so thankful. So again, I know it sounds lame, but it's how I feel, and that is that I appreciate you guys, and my life would not be the same without you. And I've definitely heard people say that before in videos, and I've listened, and I've thought to myself like, oh, he's not talking to me, she's not talking to me. But if you're still listening, I am talking to you, because you, the person who is listening, are what I'm thankful for. I appreciate you taking the time to, I don't know what that noise was, I'm taking the time to click on my videos and watch them or whatever. Alright, I'm dragging this out. That's all I've got. I've got a couple other videos planned, but if you made it this far, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you soon. I've got to go put all the things that I just showed you back in their respective places. So I'm going to do that,